Hello, lovely. Hello. Oh, right. We're doing the May 2021 edition of That Was the Week That Was. And what we got to do, as per usual, is go through our stack of old rotty papers. Yeah, pick one. So give me a number from 1 to 4. 11. From 1 to 4. I'll count 11 then. Let's do 11. Hang on, 1. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, missed the Tamla one. 6. Baby Jones. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hopefully it's not one we've had before. I don't think it is. And that is, there we go. Oh, number 11. Okay. And we've got, there you go. I'm just going to show that. It's got, what has it got on it? The Monkey Speak Out, Puppet on a String. I better give the date. The date is week ending March the 11th, 1967. So that's March the 11th. 1967, and that was the week that was, yeah, or that was our week that was, well, even though you weren't about, I was in nappies. Anyway, let's have a look. That looks like, who's that on the front? I don't know who it is. Must be the Walker Brothers. Yeah, it's the Walker Brothers. There you go, that's the Walker Brothers. Can we see that? Walker Brothers, yeah. Hang on. Okay, so there we have it, the Walker Brothers. Okay, new LP, images. Jimi Hendrix is on the front. Well, his name is. Oh, and there you go, the fabulous Walker Brothers are appearing with, there we go, the Californians, Cat Stevens, Jimi Hendrix, and a special guest star, Engelbert Humperdinck, who I think we've mentioned before. There we go, Walker Brothers headlining, and his special guest star is Engelbert Humperdinck, Cat Stevens and Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, and that is via, oh, and Tito Burns is presenting. Tito Burns was Cliff Richard's manager when he first kicked off, well, just after he first kicked off, because the first guy, Franklin Boyd, who we've mentioned, yeah, Franklin Boyd didn't like rock and roll, which was, yeah, didn't go down so well with Cliff and the lads. Engelbert Humperdinck there, he was the biggest selling star in 1967, yeah, outselling the Beatles, and he was, he did some great stuff, Engelbert. Yeah, I hope the last waltz with you. Anyway, no, we're not going to do that singing malarkey on account of the fact that I can't sing. But I can try, I can practice. Okay, so there you go. Yeah, Engelbert Humperdinck, Cat Stevens, that's interesting, that's early. Something came up about Cat Stevens the other day. It's the 11th of March 1967. We're going to turn inside, there might be something a little bit more interesting. Well, that's interesting. So this is 1967, and you've got Arnold Lane, yeah, and the B-side Candy and the Current Bun, and that's on Columbia DB 8156. And for those that know, 1967, Arnold Lane was the Pink Floyd, yeah. You've got Sid Barrett there, you've got Nick, Roger and Rick, yeah, looking very young. Okay, so can you see? That's Rick, Roger, Nick and Sid. The Pink Floyd, there we go, just releasing their, I think it was their debut single, 1967, so this is the 11th of March. I think we can see them all there. There we go. Rick, Roger, Nick and Sid. On the top of the paper, what have we got? Oh, we've got Jonathan King there. For those of you that like Jonathan King, which probably won't be very many. there he is. That's what he used to look like. Okay, he had quite a few hits actually. Jonathan King, Pop's answer to Malcolm Muggeridge, dragged himself from reading Ibsen's Dollhouse to give the King's speech on the monkeys. I only met Mickey and Dave very briefly. I saw Mickey at a reception and I thought he looked very conceited. So Jonathan King there calling Mickey DeLenz very conceited. Harsh. Yeah. He stalked through the crowd. Yeah. Jonathan King talking about Mickey DeLenz claiming he stalked through the crowd. Yeah, Mickey DeLenz, not Jonathan King. He didn't stalk through the crowd. Certainly not that crowd. Davy Jones caught in a mod fashion show at the Cromwellian, but he doesn't seem to mind. So there they are. You've got. Where's that? There we go. I'm going to show the pictures. Can you see Davy Jones? Yeah, with all them girls. Let's just put it there near your head because I know your head's in the shot. We've got. There we go. Davy Jones. Yeah, he's caught in a mod fashion show with a load of modettes. Yeah, so it's all about the monkeys. And there down the bottom there you got Mickey DeLenz. Yeah, apparently looking conceited. Yeah, according to Jonathan King. And also Peter Talk, who's not talking. In fact, he looks completely fed up. Yeah, that's Peter Talk. Yeah. Del Shannon. I've seen him. I think I've mentioned that before. There we go, Del Shannon. Yeah. Del Shannon there. I did see it. When I say I've seen him, I actually seen him perform at the Royal Albert Hall. And I'm not sure, I think that was 83 or 85. It was just before Ricky Nelson died, yeah, in a plane crash. I only know that because Ricky Nelson played that night as well. And Del Shannon there, he played that night, minus hair, but he was brilliant. Had a huge hit with a single, Runaway. I wonder why she ran away, and I wonder, and he will say, a little runaway, run. Brilliant, obviously. Well, it was when he did it, and I think it went to #1. It was released on the London American label, because it was released on the London label, which releases American stuff. In Britain it was released on London American. I think it went to #1, but what's weird is it's got exactly the same matrix number as Maximilian the Snake, yeah, which is a huge mod tune. But it's exactly the same matrix number. I think what must have happened is they've pulled Maximilian the Snake, which didn't sell, yeah, and used the same matrix number for Del Shannon's tune, or someone just made a mistake anyway. Yeah, but it was exactly the same, so it would have been released at exactly the same time. Maximilian the Snake, brilliant mod instrumental, went nowhere. Del Shannon, #1. Yeah, but looking pretty cool there. Right, okay, let's move on. What have we got next? On this page we've got the latest from the Miracles. Yeah, there we go. Smokey Robinson, the latest from Smokey Robinson, the Miracles, is The Love I Saw in You Was Just a Mirage. Yeah. And the singles of the moment, you've got Jimmy Ruffin, I've passed this way before, which for those of you who don't know is a super tune. I've passed this way before and I've felt this pain before. I don't know that bit. Na, 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 da, da, da. It's good. The Velvets, he was really saying something. So not, who covered that? Them girls, the Fruity Girls, what are they called? Bananarama did. He was really saying something. You remember Bananarama, don't you? But the original was by the Velvets. He Was Really Saying Something, and that's TMG 595. Yeah, and that would have been the 95th record released on the official Tamla Motown label in this country, because a lot of the earlier ones people didn't know them. They're put out on all sorts of labels like London, American again, Money. A lot of the early stuff was put out on Fontana, Blue Fontana. Then as they become more popular, the Motown stuff, they released it on, what was it? They started releasing it on Stateside, which again was like another label that was doing like the soulful R&B American stuff, but as a British pressing. And then Tamla, I think it was 1965, they formed their own label. Yeah, they'd already had their own label in the States, but their official Tamla Motown label, 1965 in the UK, and the first release, I'm pretty sure TMG 501 would be Stop in the Name of Love. I'm pretty sure it is. Stop in the, so that was the Supremes, yeah, and the Velvets. So this is 1967. So this is 2 years later. Yeah, the 95th record they've released, because it's TMG 595, is He Was Really Saying Something, the Velvets. Yeah, so there you go. Okay, a few little Tamla Motown labels and bits and pieces, looking all good. Right, what have we got on here? Oh, there's Spencer Davis presents Mickey. I presume he means Mickey DeLenz. Yeah, Mickey DeLenz. There's a lot about the monkeys here. Some people like the monkeys. I like monkeys. Right, okay. So you got Spencer Davis there, who he's looking cool. Yeah, presenting an LP. Yeah. So, right, Peter likes Frank. I don't know, there's nothing on it. Upset. Spencer Davis wants to see me. He really wants to see me. Wow, I cried. I'm trying to find something. Now I'm going to turn it onto the next page. Let's have a look. What we've got next. Oh, see if there's something I can show to the camera. Let's have a look. We've got here the Tremolos. Tremolos feuding days are over. There you go. That's the Tremolos. Yeah. Tremolos. Yeah. Tremolos feuding days are over. Oh, it's mentioned Candyman. Yeah. Yeah. They did the original Candyman, did the Tremolos. Yeah. We got a version, yeah, on Bardmann Baad TV. Yeah, it's your TV station, your TV channel, by Frank Bacon and the Baconeers. It's obviously a play on something, but Frank Bacon and the Baconeers, yeah, who was, I think Frank Bacon and the Baconeers ended up becoming the John Shakespeare Orchestra. True story. Jake, because he was doing other stuff like a house band, studio band in the early 60s, early to mid 60s, but then he morphed into the John Shakespeare Orchestra, who did Fade Out on Decca, which is a wicked mod instrumental. That's the John Shakespeare Orchestra Fade Out on Decca. Yeah, he did some other stuff as well, which we know to hear, but I just can't remember what they're called. But yeah, so Frank Bacon also did Candyman at the same time as the Tremolos, Brian Paul and the Tremolos. The Tremolos are, for those of you that don't know, there you go, I'm just going to show that again. Pictures of the Tremolos, can we see that? Yeah. Apparently they are Chip Hawke, because people only remember. Oh, hang on, here it says Chip Hawkes, Rick West, Alan Blakely and Dave Munden. I would have thought that Brian Paul would be in the band as well. Or maybe he's like because there's only 4 of them. Yeah, the tremolos, maybe did they? Anyway, the tremolos here in this picture, 1967. The feuding days are over. Okay, and you've got Chip Hawke, left to right, Chip Hawkes, Rick West, Alan Blakely, yeah, Dave Munden. And there, that's a cool looking band, isn't it? Look at those lads. That's a cool looking band, isn't it? Hey? Did you think, what was our image of Brian Paul and the Tremolos in those distant days when they were not only good buddies, but they were consistently chalking up big enemy chart hits like Candyman, Someone, Do You Love Me, and many more. Did you think of them as square, nice guys with a good sound, or as a crowd of mummies boys always raced back home to Dagenham? So they're from Dagenham. Certainly those were about the only 2 public images of the group before the Tremolos recently slammed right back into the top 5 with their own big hit, Here Comes My Baby. And I'm the first to admit it, I think we got to number 2 actually. Yeah, and it is a wicked tune. For those of you that don't know it, check it. Here Comes My Baby, the Tremolos. Yeah, so I presume Brian's moved on. Something's happened to Brian. Anyway, there you go. So those are the Tremolos, or the rest of the Tremolos. I'm going to show you again. It's one of my favourite pop beat bands of all time, the Tremolos, and I never knew who they were. So there you go. The Tremolos are Chip Hawkes, Rick West, Alan Blakely and Dave Munden from Dagenham. Right, okay, what have we got here? Oh, Ken Dodd, and that's it. Let's move on. What's this? Oh, this is a Small Faces picture. Yeah, you might struggle to see it. There you go. You can just about make out the Small Faces there. Okay. You can't see it because you're staring at the other page. You'll get to see it when we do the playback. Small Faces, I Can't Make It, written and produced by Steve Marriott, yeah, who's down in the bottom right corner, and here it's actually advertised as written and produced by Steve Marriott and Plonk Lane, being Ronnie Lane, who's up the top there. There you go. Plonk Lane. There you go. That was his moniker. Yeah. Even on the marketing. I Can't Make It on Decca. So that must have been pretty much their last single for Decca. Yeah. And now we're coming up to, what have we got here? Cliff sings ballad in a husky voice. It's all over. Why Wasn't I Born Rich? Dave Berry. We heard the Dave Berry tune the other day. What was it? The one that everyone knows. Brilliant mod beat tune. People just see it as a pop tune because, well, it is a pop tune because it was very, very popular. I think it might have got to number 1, but quintessentially it's got a mod back beat. Makes it very danceable for those of you that can dance. What was it? Little Things. Da-na-na, 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 da-na-na. Yeah, so that is Little Things, Dave Berry, but he's gone country. Yeah, that was a bad move, isn't it? Less said about that, the better. Okay, these are other singles that are just being left, just being, I can't see any decent singles being released. I won't bother about that then. Yeah. Skitch Henderson and his orchestra releasing all. The Chanters, You Can't Fool Me. The Applejacks, You've Been Cheating. Shirley Ellis, Soul Time. So for those of you that don't know, yeah, March the 11th, Shirley Ellis. Yeah, there you go, Shirley Ellis, Soul Time. I think that's Orange CBS. That is a massive northern tune. The Soul Time, Shirley Ellis, great tune. That was released this week, March 11th, 1967. Okay, I want to mention Helen Shapiro because I know that a lot of people completely forgot about the girl. Yeah, towards the end of the 60s, even though she was up there as perhaps one of the best female vocalists of them all. Yeah, #1 with Walking Back to Happiness. Yeah, she was sort of lauded everywhere, and then she just disappeared. Yeah, and her single is, this is sort of later on in the 60s after she's her apparent heyday, and it's Make Me Belong to You with a Flip the Way of the World. It's on Columbia. Helen Shapiro, that's right, because her #1 Walking Back to Happiness was also on Columbia. It would have been Green Columbia, maybe about, I don't know, 63, something like that, I reckon, 63, 64. So this is 4 years on. She also did Shop Around. She did a few. She had a phenomenal voice. What does this lass have to do to get a hit? This is a rich voiced treatment of a vibrant beat ballad with biting brass, organ and a walloping rhythm. It's a big sound and makes you feel good. The trouble is, Helen has done this sort of thing before on many occasions without any significant response. They talk about the flip side as well. The flip side is a self-penned item, so presumably she's written it, Helen Shapiro. The flip is with an exotic bossa nova rhythm. Wouldn't say the material was particularly outstanding, but the treatment makes up for it. Yeah. Well, she's not exactly getting rave reviews there from the reviewer. So on that note, let's move on to the next page. We've got the charts. Okay, the charts. In at #1, March 8th, 1967. Yeah? What do you think it was in at #1? Did you think it was This Is My Song, Petula Clark, which is I think was a Charlie Chaplin tune, yeah, which she covered and did very well, or Strawberry Fields Forever, the Beatles, or Release Me, Engelbert Humperdinck? Which one do you think was #1? It was Engelbert Humperdinck. March the 8th, 1967, top in the charts was Engelbert Humperdinck, yeah, formerly known as Jerry Dorsey. Yeah, he used to live down the road. Yeah, well, quite a way down the road, but in at #1 with Release Me. Yeah. Release me, let me go. I don't love you anymore. To me, my life will be again. Release me. Yeah, and then #2, Penny Lane, Strawberry Fields Forever, the Beatles, and then #3 was Petula Clark. Naturally, whenever I look down these charts, I always want to see where some of the stuff that I really like is. And Jimmy Ruffin, I've passed this way before, we mentioned that earlier, which is a great record. That was in at number 25. Yeah, number 25. Apart from that, Herman's Hermits in at #9. There's a Kind of Hush. Not one of my favourites by them, but they did some great stuff. What else have we got? I think we'll leave it there. Leave it there. Right. Okay. Going to the next page. I'm not even sure if this is still recording. What have we got? How you doing? How you doing? You good? You enjoying it? I'm trying to find something. The full Otis Redding Soul Show venues. Yes, so this is March the 11th, 1967, and it's just announced the itinerary for the Otis Redding Soul Review in this country. It's been revealed by promoter Arthur Howes, and the package plays 12 venues in this country as well as various continental dates. As previously reported, the tour comprises All Stacks label, recording artists, and also features Sam and Dave, Eddie Floyd. Well, Sam and Dave did Soul Man and You Don't Know Like I Know What This Woman Has Done, and Soothe Me Baby, Soothe Me with Your Dan, yeah. Do do do. Eddie Floyd, he did Things Get Better, Things Get Better Baby When I'm With You. The Marquis, who are the Marquis, right, were the house band for Stax. Well, they were effectively Stax. Steve Cropper, Donald Duck Dunn, Matt Guitar Murphy, yeah, all these guys, yeah, they were the Marquis, yeah, the house band for Stax, and they went on to become, yeah, a lot of people know them as the backing band for Jake and Elwood Blues in the Blues Brothers. Yeah, that was the house band for Stax. Yeah, and it was a real band, and they did tour all over the world with Jake and Elwood. In other words, Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi fronting the band. Yeah, but they were originally the Marquis. Yeah, and they wrote biggest mod anthem of them all, Green Onions, written by the Marquis, and also Last Night, you know, the one that all the ska bands do. Do 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 do. Last Night, ooh, that was also the Marquis. Yeah, Arthur Conley, he had a #1 with Sweet Soul Music, and then finally Booker T and the MGs, who are all on the same bill on this Otis Redding Soul Show. Yeah, and they're going to be doing, yeah, again, for those of you that have a time machine, let me just check, see if it's still recording. If it's not, oh, it is still recording, that's good. Right, well, it's good if you like this sort of thing. Yeah. If not, you would have switched off a long time ago. But anyway, so the full Otis Redding Soul Show venues, yeah, coming up. March, so for those of you that have a time machine again, March the 17th, 1967, so that's in about 6 days time, minus March 67, 4 minus 54 years, is Finsbury Park, Astoria, yeah, so it's North London, March 17th. They're doing afternoon and evening performances, yeah, at the Uppercut Club in East London the following day. The Uppercut Club, East London, that's the 18th. They then fly to Paris, yeah, you can just jump on the Eurostar, can't you? Then they're doing, you okay, sweetie? Yeah? You want me to scratch it? Right, then they're doing, what are they doing? They're doing Leeds on March the 22nd, Queen's Hall. We've been there. Well, I've been there. There weren't no bands playing, I've just been to the hall. Manchester Palace, 23rd. I'll try and avoid Manchester if I can. That's 23rd of March. Leicester Granby Halls. Yeah. I don't even know where Leicester is. I do actually. Leicester, it must be near Leicester Forest East. So whenever you're going up north, up the M1, halfway, yeah, you got Leicester Forest East. That's where we always used to stop. Yeah, on the way up and on the way down, because it's sort of halfway between London and Leeds. So presumably Leicester is near Leicester Forest East. Yeah, Liverpool Empire. Big fan of Scousers. Yeah, Liverpool Empire, that's the 26th. Croydon Fairfield Halls, Easter Monday, that's the 27th of March. Bristol, 28th. Glasgow Locarno, that's the 30th. And then April 1st they're doing Birmingham, yeah, and Cardiff on the 3rd. So there you go. Nelson Imperial. Nelson's near Burnley, Colne. Yeah, Lancashire, right? Okay, so there you go. So that's the Otis Redding show. What else have we got? Oh, I think we'll just stop it there really. What have we got? Oh, that's interesting. There you go. You've got, look, the Herman's Hermits, one of my favourite British bands. They were from Manchester, I think. Herman's Hermits. I think they were. Had some great hits. Yeah, but there is a picture there. Look, can you see that there? Who's that? Is that Sammy Davis Jr.? Is that Frank Sinatra or Dean Martin? Did you say Dean Martin? It is Dean Martin. So that is Dean Martin there with, yeah, with Herman. Yeah, the Herman, Peter Noon. We've seen that, Dean Martin. Yeah. There you go, and someone else. Hermit Keith Hopwood looks on. Yeah. So it's Keith Hopwood there in the middle. Yeah. Dean Martin and the Herman. Yeah. What else have we got? Bill and Phil, Puppet on a String. I think that's it. Oh, little story here. The Hollies, Sick Holly rejoins world date set. So it must have been one of the Hollies who was sick. The drummer, Bobby Elliott, who is still convalescing after his recent illness, will rejoin the group on March 17th, a week after the opening of the tour with Spencer Davis and Paul Jones. Well, Paul Jones was Manfred Mann, wasn't he? Yeah. So you've got Spencer Davis, you've got the Hollies, and Manfred Mann. Big lineup. Right, Bobby Elliott, the drummer. Interim replacement is ex-Sounds Incorporated drummer Tony Newman. Yeah. And for some reason I've got it lodged in the back of my head, and I could be totally wrong on this, but Sounds Incorporated, I've got a feeling they used to back what's his name? Gene Vincent. Yeah, after Eddie Cochran died, yeah, and Gene Vincent, he had more of a rocker biker image. The Blue Caps had long since moved on, and he needed a backing band, and I'm pretty sure that because his manager was Don Arden, which is Sharon, what's her face's dad? Yeah, Sharon Stone. No, it's not Sharon Stone. Sharon something. Anyway, her dad Don Arden, he managed Gene Vincent, yeah, in the early to mid 60s, and I'm pretty sure that Gene Vincent's backing band was Sounds Incorporated. I've got a feeling it was. Anyway, so you know, you've got a lot of big bands there, all on the same. Well, it's a world tour, so it's understandable. The schedule for the Hollies World Tour has now been fixed, and for those of you that their postponed Yugoslavian tour will now begin on June the 10th. Yeah. Okay. So the Hollies are doing the Yugoslavian tour after a concert in Honolulu. But yeah, there you go, the Hollies. For those that don't know, there's a B-side. I've got a feeling it's the B-side of, did they do Stay? Oh, won't you stay? I know that was Maurice Williams and the Zodiacs, but I think it's one of those few big chart busters by the Hollies where they were covering someone else's tune. I'm sure it was Stay. And the B-side is called Now Is the Time. So for those of you that don't know the B-side, Now Is the Time is a brilliant B-side. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. I think that's it. Shall we shut up now? Shall I shut up? Donovan avoids drugs controversy. Donovan's current US hit, Epistle to Dippy, will not be released as a single in this country. His manager Ashley Kovac explained, this is intended to avoid any controversial drug-taking implications which the national press might find in the lyric. Epistle to Dippy. Yeah. Instead, Donovan's next British single will be the self-penned Tinker and the Crab. Yeah, So they're worried that a pistol to Dippy, yeah, might have drug-related connotations, so they're not going to release that in the UK, yeah. But wait for it, they are going to release Tinker and the Crab, yeah, because that clearly has no, yeah, badness, yeah, or perceived badness connotations in it whatsoever, yeah. What does it even mean, Tinker and the Crab? Yeah? Sounds rude. Tinker and the Crab. It's something you got out of the Kama Sutra. It will be released at the same time. Oh, I'm just boring myself now. So I'm going to find one more good picture somewhere. See if there's a good picture here. Oh, that's good. That looks like Millie Small. This is Millie Small, a few years after she had her hit. Yeah, there you go. That is. So this is Millie Small from 1967, so it's about 4 years after My Boy Lollipop. There she is, Millie Small. Okay. He sadly passed away a few months ago. Again, I think she lived just down the road. Just released, so on this day, 1967, she released her single Chicken Feed with the B-side Wings of a Dove, which is a ska standard. So there you go. Millie Small there. Mary Wells as well. There we go. Mary Wells, very good looking lass. Yeah. Okay, you're going to see all this on the thing anyway once we upload it. I think that's it. I think we'll go with that. Oh yeah. For those of you that don't know, My Boy Lollipop featured. No, you met? No, you didn't. But featured, I'm sure the guitarist on My Boy Lollipop was Ernest Ranglin. Yeah, and Ernest Ranglin, he was the guitarist for the Scatolites, and his first British issue record was Exodus. Yeah, he's done a ska version of Exodus. You know the, yeah, do 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 do. It's been covered by loads of ska bands, but yeah, that was Ernest Ranglin. I'm pretty sure he was guitarist on My Boy Lollipop, and he used to play a lot round here as well. Yeah, that's it. In fact, you've met a few of the people he used to play with, yeah, because he used to do a lot down the Bull's Head. Barnes, is it the Bull's Head? Something like that. But Barnes anyway, yeah. So there you go. I'm going to shut up. This sounds a bit like, I know this, who is it? Right, I think that's it. We'll stop it there, shall we? Hang on, let's stop it there. You see? Au revoir. Yeah, did you enjoy that? Yeah, I haven't completely bummed you out there. Is there a little smiley? Where is it? Where is it? Yeah? Yappy? Yeah? Be cool. No. Bye bye, lovely.